So, what is the best Lindy AI alternative out there? Now, obviously, when it comes to Lindy, I just want to kind of mention a key drawbacks and some downsides that I found out while using the platform. So, although Lindy is mostly for creating AI employees and its platform for that, setup and tuning for more advanced workflows can require like a steeper learning curve. So even though it's user friendly, complex automations still demand effort to configure. Okay, so in this case, I'll be focusing more on the sales aspect of Lindy's AI employees. Okay, so obviously some functionality with Lindy are limited and they are evolving, right? So users report like fewer ready-made templates. When I say users, I mean people that I talked with that are also using Lindy. They said that some have like fewer ready-made templates or integrations for like business-specific workflows. So if you're looking for like business-specific workflows and like more mature tools, I would say that can be an issue with Lindy as well. Now, obviously, pricing and usage can become unpredictable because if you take a look at here, like pricing, it can become unpredictable with the credits and everything. So yeah, it isn't optimal for purely appointment setting workflows and sales workflows. I'll be focusing more on in here on this video on sales. So if like your core need is like scheduling bookings rather than like full workflow automation, Lindy may be over engineered for you. Okay. So if you're looking for like customer support for like, stuff like that, like AI agents that book calls for you, then what I would suggest here is I would suggest another platform which is called Appointwise. So Appointwise for me is a good alternative for Lindy because it's specifically built for appointment setting and lead qualification. So it automates engagement, lead follow up, bookings across the channels. Like you have SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram Messenger. It also syncs into your calendars, and you can build pretty much AI agents or like AI SDR agents, sales representatives, that will sell and book calls for you on autopilot. So essentially, it has a very strong user interface, user experience, and customer also satisfaction, at least from my side, because when I'm using a Pointwise, I'm using it mostly for these AI agents that I create. When I create an AI agent, each AI agent can be tested as well in here, and I can test it right here. So if I start conversation, I can test it right here, and I can also test it for errors as well. Now, for the use case of like agencies needing to convert leads into appointments, rather than like building the full end-to-end workflow automations, Appointwise definitely provides like a more focused tool for agencies, for local businesses, and stuff like that. So again, like if your primary need is automating lead qualification and booking appointments, then I think Appointwise is a great alternative to Lindy. However, if you need like a more broader workflows like emails, data tasks, maybe you want to build multiple different AI employees, then I would say that Lindy AI is better. Again, this just is based on your preferences. However, I would say Appointwise is a great alternative to Lindy if we are looking purely from sales perspective. Okay. So if you're looking purely from lead engagement, qualification, and just sales perspective. So yeah, I have a tutorial on Appointwise specifically. I will link it somewhere in this video. But this is pretty much the alternative that I would recommend for booking appointments for instead of Lindy AI. Now, Lindy AI is still a powerful platform. Don't get me wrong, but definitely has some limitations. Obviously, when it comes to just like being sales specific. So if you want a sales specific platform, I would go with Appointwise. If you want a platform that allows you to build customer support agents, outbound sales calls, AI employees that can do lead generation, meeting recorders, you can do a lot of different things with Lindy. However, again, when we're talking purely from a perspective of a sales specific perspective, then I would say Lindy falls short on that. Um, yeah, I would say Appointwise is much better in that regard. But yeah, you can kind of decide for yourself as well which one is better for you specifically. This is kind of just my take on it because I'm using Appointwise for my clients and for the agents that I'm building here. But essentially, you can use Lindy for the same thing. Um, Again, like user interface may be better in Appointwise as well. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Definitely do your own research whether or not you want to do this, like whether or not you want to transition to Appointwise. But this is the alternative that I would go for. So enough of me rambling. That's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, you can check out Appointwise and get 14-day free trial with our link below.